right, we might kick off. Whoever wants to start us off, let me know. And we can get going with Sean. Obviously, the ODI and T20 squads to tour Bangladesh were announced this morning. As you would have seen, obviously with the inclusion of Sophie, Molineux and Tayla Vlaeminck, with Jess Jonassen and Heather Graham missing out. Nick, do you want to kick us off?
Thanks so much, Lucy. G'day, Sean. Sean, I just want to quickly ask, if I could, about Jess Jonassen, why she was left out of these squads, and I guess what she'll need to do to get back into them.
Yeah, look, it's a tough call for JJ. It's it's probably the first squad that she's missed out on in a long time. But I think over the last couple of years, and particularly the last 12 months, JJ's role has not been as strong in the team, and that's probably more to do with players like Ash Gardner having her game develop and grow quite a bit over that time, and taking more of those opportunities that JJ did have, and also players like Georgia Wareham with her skill set, and Alana King's form as well over the last 12 to 18 months has been really strong as well. So really tough call for JJ, but the message for her and particularly Heather Graham as well is to keep working hard. You just never know when the next opportunity is going to come, and you need to be ready for that. So we've got a World Cup obviously at the back end of this year back in Bangladesh, and we want to see JJ keep fighting and putting her hand up for selection, which I know she will.
And also quickly on Tayla Vlaeminck, obviously I'm sure you've been in touch with her and the medical staff over the past 12 to 18 months, but I guess what was the moment where the team realises she wasn't ready for international cricket again? Was there a match in the WNCL or some sort of bit of communication that said to you, yep, she's ready for a call up again?
Yeah, I mean, we've been in close contact with Tay all the way through. It was really disappointing when she did a shoulder over in England last year, but we set a plan out way back then, and really pleased that Tay has stuck to that and come back at each step she's taken. She's improved and performed. I think every time she bowled in WNCL, she's got better and better. I know she had a session with Meg Lanning, a centre wicket, before one of the WNCL games, and Meg was full of praise just how quick she was bowling and great outswing. So it's just a nice opportunity to get Tay back in and around the squad. I know she'll be nervous, but it's a good chance for her to go overseas with the Australian team again and get that experience in Bangladesh conditions, and that gives us an opportunity to have a look at a few different players in those conditions leading into the World Cup, as I said earlier.
Thanks so much, Sean. Cheers.
Cheers, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Hey, Sean. Did the conditions play a role in selection and when you're making those decisions? Obviously, Bangladesh, it is different to what we've just been involved in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit unknown with Bangladesh, and that's, I guess, one of the opportunities that we do see, that taking someone like Tay over there to see how she can perform on those wickets. And then also how the spinners are going to perform on those wickets. So it's a little bit of it's a great opportunity for us to experience those conditions. The group games in the World Cup and one of the semi-finals and the final will be played at the National Stadium where we're playing these games. So we're going to get some great insight to the conditions and what sort of bowlers are going to be required. And it's a great opportunity for our batters to get that experience in those conditions as well. Look, I mean, every squad we select, we try and have a good mix of skill sets, and I think we've got that again as well.
It sounds like it was pretty tight, these selection calls. There's not a lot of difference between the players, and the margins are quite fine. Yeah,
they certainly are. They are tight calls each time, and there's unlucky players every time they miss out, and it's how they respond and just pick themselves up and go again. And as I said, every opportunity to put yourself up for selection, you've got to take. And leading into a World Cup, you've got to be ready and fit and available to take that opportunity. So we've seen over the past few World Cups and Com games, we've had issues with injuries that come up at the last minute. So if you're not in the squad right now, you've just got to keep fighting and be ready if that opportunity does arise.
And just off the back of the last few series against South Africa, and it was what's sort of the focus this time around off the back of that, and areas to sort of improve on and get better in?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things for this series. The three ODIs are worth points for the Women's Championship, so they're really important games for us. And the T20 is obviously leading into the T20 World Cup later this year. So, we want to keep evolving our style of play for the T20s. We don't think we've nailed that in the last couple of series. We've dropped a couple of games, so that'll be a great focus for us. How we play spin bowling in those conditions, if that is the type of wickets that we do come up against, that's a great chance for our batters to keep working at that as well. So there's some areas there for us to look at. We want to keep pushing the boundary with the way we play our T20 cricket and be aggressive, and so great chance to do that next month in Bangladesh.
Thanks, Max. Jasper, do you want to jump in?
Thanks, Luce. G'day, Flegs. I'm sure we'll hear from Tayla pretty soon, but could you just recount that moment with being able to tell her the good news that she'd be back in the squad after working so hard to recover from those injuries?
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice moment. Unfortunately, I had to drive Tay to get an X-ray done on her shoulder when she did do it. So it was a tough drive for her in the car back into London to get that X-ray at the time. And we were just talking about the opportunities that would come up in the future, and not to lose faith and keep working hard. And I mean, she's obviously been through some tough challenges over the last couple of years, and I couldn't speak more highly of her resilience and her work ethic and the way she just gets on and has a crack. And she gives herself every opportunity, and really, really grateful that we can give this to her. I know she'll take it with both hands when she does get it. I'm just really happy for her. She's worked bloody hard to get to this point. So, and she'll keep doing that and keep putting herself up for selection. That's a great thing about Tay. She hasn't given up at any stage throughout this, and it's a great credit to her and to all the medical staff that has supported her along the way. Lots of work from the Cricket Victoria staff and Cricket Australia staff in that time as well.
And Flex, just on obviously this tour being such crucial preparation for Bangladesh, I guess how much of a setback is it for Jess and Heather and their chances of featuring later in the year, given they have missed out this time on what will be really crucial preparation? Yeah, I mean, as I said, it is a tough selection, but you've just got to keep putting your hand up and take every opportunity that you do get. Jess is obviously over in India at the moment, and any game that she gets during the WPL is a great opportunity for her. We've also got an Indian World Cup in 18 months' time as well. So, her playing those games over there is a great opportunity for her to keep pushing her case forward. We'll have some camps during the winter and a series against New Zealand and some games against Australia as well. And both of those players will be involved in those games, I've got no doubt. So, whenever they get the chance, they've just got to put their hand up and have a crack. If there's injuries that do happen in that time, then I'm sure they'll jump at a chance to get back in the team. Thanks, Lex.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Jasper. Jono, do you want to wrap it up with Flegs for us?
Sure. Cheers, Lizzie. G'day, Flegs. Just on we'll hear from Tay in a minute, but just the fantasizing of having Tay Vlaeminck and Darcy Brown opening the bowling together for Australia. Do you think you might get a look at that in Bangladesh? If I know conditions are very different to what you might get in Australia, where it's probably suited to two express pacers opening the bowling, but would you like to have a look at that?
We won't discount it, absolutely. I mean, you're looking at that Test match wicket in Perth a couple of weeks ago. That would have been nice. I'm sure Tay would have loved to have had a crack on that wicket. So let's not count out anything in the future. So I think that we're just, again, really fortunate that we've got a couple of express pace bowlers that we can select from. And then we've got players like Kim Garth, who has done outstanding in the recent times, and Megan Shute, who's certainly put a hand up, along with Annabelle Sutherland and Talia and Elise. So we're blessed with some, great fast bowling depth, and we've got some great spin depth as well.
Just quickly on Belzy, seeing what she was able to do not only with the ball, but particularly with the bat over in that test match. Have there been, it's a hard top order to crack into, but have there been discussions amongst the coaches and with Midge and with you about potentially getting her up the order to take on a bit more of a leadership role, or are you just happy to let her keep developing down the order?
Yeah, I mean, we'll keep looking at that. You know, the games in Ireland where she opened the batting with Phoebe and got 100 there. Even go back to a few years ago when Meg missed a game up here in Brisbane and we put Belzy in at 3 for that game. So, you know, her game just keeps developing. Yeah, she's going to be a long-term player for Australia, and I've got no doubt that she'll end up batting in the top order at some point. So, yeah, she's an outstanding player and she's so young, but she's going to be a force to be reckoned with for a long time, I think.
Cheers, Flex.
Cheers.
Thanks, Jono. We might wrap it up there, Sean. Sorry, Max, you've unmuted. Did you have one last one for Flex, so you're all good?
Yeah, sorry, I just have one more about the Women's Premier League. Do you monitor that and the performances there ahead of the Bangladesh tour?
Oh yeah, look, we're certainly looking at it. That's for sure. Yeah, great for our players to get that exposure, and there's been some great crowds first up. You know, I know Sophie bowled to a last over victory the other night, so that was great for her. And yeah, even Meg scoring some runs as well. So it'd be nice to see our players look to dominate that series and then head to Bangladesh. But yeah, we're certainly monitoring that. And it's a great opportunity for the players who do get it.
Nice, thank you.
Thanks, Max. Thanks, Flex. We'll wrap it up there. And we've got Tay kindly waiting in the wings. So Tay, if you want to get yourself ready, we'll swap it over in a sec. All right, I think we're good to go. Jasper, do you want to kick us off with Tayla?
Thanks, Lewis. Hey, Tayla, can you just talk to us in the first instance about the emotions you felt when you found out you'd be back in the Australian squad?
Yeah, I was pretty excited, obviously. I think Flex could probably attest to the fact it was a pretty awkward phone call. I think I lost the ability to speak for a moment there. So, yeah, I think it's something I've kind of been pushing towards, and it's given me motivation over the last couple of years. So, yeah, for it to actually happen, and yeah, the phone call, yeah, it was just felt a little bit surreal, to be honest.
Legs touched on it there, but sort of, can you take us back to that time when you do your shoulder on the comeback after working so hard to get back in the frame, and you're sort of on your way back in the car with Flegs in London? Can you just talk to us about that time and what was going through your head then in terms of your future in this team?
Yeah, it was a tough time. Obviously, the shoulder had kind of been coming in and out for a couple of months by that point, but I think that was when it sort of happened bowling, that was kind of the final straw. And me and Flegs got stitched up doing about a 3-hour trip into London in peak hour to get an X-ray. So I probably wasn't in the best of moods, so probably wasn't the best trip. But yeah, I think for me, I've always wanted to play. I love cricket. I love bowling. And I love playing for Australia. So I felt like at the time it was really hard, but then when I kind of reflected upon it, it was sort of a 4 or 5 month injury, and I feel like I'd done worse. So yeah, I feel like I obviously had a lot of support along the way, but yeah, I didn't quite give up at that point.
Have you heard from any of the girls messaging you today since hearing the news?
Yeah, I've had a fair few messages already, which is really nice. And I think, to be honest, that's probably one of the main things that's got me through the last couple of years, is just being able to hang out with the girls, and especially here at Victoria. They've all been amazing in just getting around me and still making it a really enjoyable place to come. And the same as the Oz group. I've still been up for some random camps in the pre-season and stuff like that. And after the first 10 minutes where you feel a bit awkward, it goes back to normal, and everyone's just loves and gets around you. So yeah, I'm really grateful for everyone that's kind of helped me along the way. And yeah, some of the messages this morning have been really nice.
Thanks, Tayla. Congrats.
Thanks, Jasper. Nick, do you want to jump in?
Thanks, Lucy. G'day, Tayla. Congrats on the news today. It's the first time in a while that the Victorian trio of yourself, Sophie, and Georgia have been in the same squad. Considering the three of you watched the World Cup final from your couch a couple of years ago, does it fill you with hope that hopefully we'll be there to retain the trophy in a couple of years' time?
Yeah, that probably wasn't the best of days. It was quite a funny day though, sitting on the couch watching that game. But yeah, that was a really nice message and call to have with the girls yesterday. I think they said the band's back together again. So Sophie and I played our first game for Victoria together in about 2.5 years or 3 years or something. I still haven't played a game with Wolf since it would have been an India series maybe 3 years ago. So yeah, I'm so excited to be able to get back on the park with them. And yeah, if that ends up in a World Cup, that'd just be even better.
How is the body feeling at the moment? Obviously, you're still fresh back from some time off. Are you near 100% or not quite?
Yeah, no, I feel really good at the moment. Yeah, we've obviously really carefully managed sort of the last two months coming back into WNCL. And yeah, the first game I woke up the next morning, felt like I'd been hit by a bus. But after that, I've kind of worked myself into it and feeling really good. And I think one of the main lessons I kind of learned over those 2-3 years off was just how to control myself a little bit more around training and monitor loads and kind of just go with the flow a little bit more and not try and go at 100% every single time. So I've tried to really work that into the last couple of months and that's at the moment really working and I'm feeling really fresh. So fingers crossed that continues for a bit longer.
Thanks, Tayla. Congrats.
Thank you.
Jono or Max, yeah, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, that'd be great. Congrats, Taylor, on getting the call up. I'm guessing you're at the junction now. When you walk out of the room and you're wearing the Australia top, people will be pretty happy for you.
Yeah, I smuggled it up in a little Woolworths bag because I felt a bit awkward. So I've got my big shirt in the corner at the back, so I'll put that back on before I go back downstairs.
Nice. And just you know, with the injuries you've been through, did you think you'd be able to get this far? And obviously, there might have been some tough times there when you were injured, not being able to play. To be able to get through all that and come out the other side must be a good feeling.
Yeah, it is a nice feeling. I think after the phone call yesterday, I was kind of just sitting on the couch, just, I don't know, reflecting a little bit, I suppose, on the last couple of years. And yeah, it just didn't really feel real, I suppose. There's just been so many times I've sort of come into junction and I don't know, just grinded away and didn't really think, or kind of in the back of my mind, like I was doing it obviously for this reason, but yeah, I didn't actually know, or I wasn't sure if it would actually happen or whether I'd be able to get back to the point where it could happen. So yeah, I'm just so pumped and I'm obviously so grateful for all the support I've received and CA have been incredible. Kate, our physio, Geordie, our S&C, Andrew Waller up there as well. Scotty, our bowling coach, like they've just been there the whole way and, calling me every week, checking in. I've been up there for camps to freshen things up. And yeah, they've just believed and supported me the whole time. So I'm really grateful for that. And the same here at CV. Yeah, I can't speak highly enough of Jono and Goon, our physio and S&C. Feel sorry for him sometimes having to put up with me for the past 2 years, going in there every day with new ideas. But yeah, I'm just so grateful for that. Everyone's been there to help me do it along the way.
Perfect. Thanks, Max. Anything from Jono or anyone else? If not, we'll let Tay get back to training. No? Sorry, Jono, you're all good?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks very much for joining us, guys. Thanks, Tay and Sean, very much for joining us as well. No doubt we'll chat to you all soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.